Welcome to the channel, everybody. Today we have this BMW 750 Li. The problem that it's having is the increased battery discharge. This problem relates to bad batteries most of the time. If you want to know how to check this problem, you can check the video on the corner of the video right here, where I have a direct link to that video where I did a video how to check, how to know if the battery is bad when this message comes on. So in this case, in the case of this BMW 750 Li, after checking it out, the battery is bad. So what we have to do is replacing the battery. In this case, the battery of the BMW 750 Li is located on the trunk. So all we have to do is like open the trunk and get access to the battery. To get access to the battery, we have to remove all these covers, all these panels over here. What we have to do is like lift them up. In this case, there is no bolts over here, but when the little plastic nuts are there are 10 millimeters, and you have to remove those plastic nuts, and then you lift this one out and pull the whole thing out. We have to remove this other panel over here. This is just a panel just to put stuff. So what we have to do is like get it out of here. All right, so there we have the battery. But there is something very important you have to know. In order to save the memory of the vehicle, of the components of the vehicle, you need to use one of the memory savers if you want. Something like this. It is just a basic memory saver. You don't need to go all fancy. What it does is like gets the power from another battery and you hook it to the AUDI port, and it maintains the battery just for the electronic components. Not enough to start the engine. So in this case, I want to be doing the battery replacement without using the memory saver, just to show you that there is no problems if you don't have a memory saver. So the first thing we're going to do is to remove this bracket over here. This is just to hold the battery on place. We're going to be using a 13 millimeter socket to remove that. It's not super tight, so you can use a small ratchet for it. And then we can remove it completely from here. Now, once we have that removed, the first cable we have to remove is the negative, because right now the battery is ready to be removed. So we have to remove the negative power of the battery using a 10 millimeter socket. This way we disconnect any thread or source, the power source that can damage any component after the battery, when we're doing the battery replacement. So you have to be careful with this cable over here. This is for the intelligent battery sensor, as it says here, IBS. If in some cases, if you have an increased battery discharge problem, you replace the battery and still having the same problem, this could be your problem as well. So we just put it on a side, and as soon as we put it on a side, we come to the other side, which is the positive side. As you can see, this side looks massive because there are many cables going to different areas. But the only part that is holding the battery is this bolt over here. This is a 10 millimeter nut. Again, we're gonna be removing it the same way. And as soon as we get it out like this, the next step is to remove the clips. And on this area over here, there's these clips. There are metal clips. This is a metal clip that goes over there and holds the battery here. So we just get it out like this, and we do the same with the other side. But the other side is a little harder because you cannot see it. So it takes a little time to do that one. And once we get both of the clips completely released from the battery, we can easily lift the whole thing out like this. And now the battery is completely disconnected from any power source, from anything. The only thing left is this little hose over here. So we have to just like get it out. This is just a breather for the battery. So all the toxic components go to the atmosphere instead getting inside the cab. So now, meanwhile I'm holding this, I can easily remove the battery with my other hand. It's a heavy battery, so. And now we get it out of here. All right, here we have both of the batteries, the old one and the new one. We bought this one in AutoZone. It's pretty similar. Batteries don't change that much. They're good batteries. I already replaced batteries from AutoZone for BMWs, and they work fine. But there is something very important you have to check when you're replacing the battery. That is the amps per hour. As you can see, come closer over here to take a look. So for BMWs, the majority, this one over here, amps per hour, there are 90 to 95. In this case, it's 95. And the old battery is 92, so it's within the range. So that's very important. But in this case, this battery, the old battery, had lower cranking amps than the AutoZone battery. The AutoZone has 900 and this one has 850. And 1000 cranking amps at 32 degrees. So at this point, I think that the AutoZone battery is better than the Bosch battery, but that will depend up to you. So one thing very important to see on the battery is this. As you can see, this battery has an orifice over here. This is for the breather, but on the other side, it has another orifice as well. So that means that the breather goes across the battery. And we can see in this battery, it has a plug. So this is very important. We have to remove this plug from here and place it to the new battery. The same way. So this way, all the breathing cycle goes to this way where the breather is. That's very important to check before. After checking all that and knowing that this battery is right for your vehicle, we can proceed and install the battery. And also, if you want to know how much this battery is, it's around $200. If just to know, if you want to know how much this, because this battery is not just the regular liquid battery, this is a plasma battery, and this is the type of battery you have to use for BMWs. Remember that. Don't use you can use liquid batteries, but plasma batteries are the best. So let's continue with installation. So all we have to do is carry this heavy battery. It's a heavy battery. So we have to carry it all the way there. And make sure to have the positive and the negative on position, because if you put it in the other position, you have to get it out and then bring it back the same way. So I'm gonna leave the cable here, get it down, and then put it where it goes. Be careful with this one over here. This cable over here, this cable is very fragile, so make sure to check that out always. So that's why you have to keep the plugs over there, because this way you save any touches with electricity. So we put it where it goes. All right. So once it is on position, you have to make sure that everything aligns the way it goes. The battery terminals go in position. Once we know that, first thing is to place this plug back. This one. This is for the breather. All we have to do is insert it in there, the same way it was in the other side. In the other battery. And first, we're gonna install the positive power of the battery. So we're gonna remove this out of the way, and now we have access to the post. So all we have to do is to align the post with the terminal here, insert it, and then clip these other things where they go. As you could hear, then they click. And now we're gonna tie that with a 10mm socket. It has to be hand tight, not super tight. If you tighten it too much, you can break the terminal, and later you have to replace the whole thing. Okay, this is enough. And then we place this thing back, and this side is completely done. Now we go to the negative power. All we have to do the same way, remove the little plug, then holds the terminal. All right. So, and now we can install the power. So carefully install it. You're gonna see that sparks, because all the power is getting filled again with power. And that's right, you don't play with it, you put it at once, right away. You don't play with it, you put it right away. That way you prevent any problems with the electronic components. So now we have to just tie this and make sure that it doesn't move. This one is hard to know, but it doesn't move. And the last thing to do is to place this bracket back. So it is just to align it how it was. This way it has a position, and then the position it has is like these little things over here go right here. You see these little things with the battery, these little gaps. It has the same form over here. So we just put it over here and then just put the ball. And now we tie that with the 13mm socket. And the battery replacement is completely done. Pretty easy, pretty fast. There are a couple of steps you have to follow as a prevention. As you see, leaving these plugs there can help so much in preventing problems. And if make sure, as I said before, to install the proper battery. This is a plasma battery. Make sure to install the plasma battery and the right cranking amps and the charging amps for the battery as well. So with this, the battery replacement is done, and now we're gonna start the engine. All right, engine is running, no warning lights, anything. The only thing it will say something about the timing and all that. As you can see over here in the iDrive, it has this. Then there is nothing there. There is no time, there is nothing, because all the information was lost, because that's the basic information that needs power. So that's what happens if you don't use memory saver. So but in this case, as you could see, you don't need to use a memory saver if you don't have one, and this was the reason why I did the video this way, so that way you then don't have a memory saver will feel safe to do the battery replacement your own. And just put those covers back the same way they were. Pretty simple, the same way we removed them, nothing complicated. We just like install them the same way. This one goes on top, just slide it in. And that's all. After that, just close the trunk, and it is like nothing happened to the car at all. There is something else that you have to do after the battery replacement, and it is the battery adaptation. The adaptation of the battery, that's a battery reset. That's a process that you have to do after a battery replacement. In this case, in this video, I won't show it to you. I will do a different video where I'm going to show how to do the battery adaptation, because that goes for multiple different BMWs, not only this BMW F01 F02. So far, this is all you need to know about the battery replacement on a BMW 750 Li. But in this case, it goes for 740s, 750s, and 760s. And in some countries in Europe, you have 735s and 730s as well. So it goes the same way, because the battery location is the same way, where it goes. But maybe the battery type is going to vary between all those. But it's going to go for all BMWs F01 F02s. So this is all we have for you today. Make sure to stay tuned on our channel to see the battery adaptation, the battery reset video, which is gonna be coming soon. If you like the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you have any questions about the video, use the comment section below. Follow us on Instagram. On the description below, we have a direct link for our Instagram page. And make sure to subscribe to our channel to don't miss any content we all love. Thank you for watching. So here we have both of the batteries, the old one and the new one. The problem is then what was that about?
I kind of twisted right there.